Hello, this is Steve with Pro Tools PC, and on this video I wanted to talk about the new Pro Tools Freeze feature. Another very common use for this would be in this situation here. So we're back, we have the sampler with the multiple output feeding a bunch of auxes, and we wanted to freeze all of these auxes, all of these outputs from the sampler individually. So we have a couple different ways we could do that. So one way would be to select the first and last track in our row of auxes that we want to freeze, and Shift to select all of them in that order, and then Shift Alt on PC or Shift Option on Mac and hit freeze. So now we have all of those auxiliaries frozen, and if we flip over we can see all of our inserts are frozen down. But in this scenario, our sampler, that track, our instrument track, did not freeze, so it's still completely active. So the other situation would be to go ahead and freeze this track down as well to free up those resources. So let's go ahead and unfreeze these tracks. I'd hit Alt on PC, or we could just hit hold Shift Alt again, and then we can go and freeze our sampler on this track. So now all of our tracks we selected are frozen, and our instrument track is now frozen down. There was no audio coming out of the VI that was streaming through this instrument track. So in this case, it has the frozen look, I guess you could say, but there is no audio over top of it. So in this case, as an example, audio-wise, I have my bass track routed through some various settings here, and in the same way I could go through and say I just wanted to quickly just render my entire bass chain down to a quick track. I could just go through and freeze this and render my entire bass chain, track chain, down to a single track, or I could do them as I did in the VIs earlier with different stems, and then still be able to submix them through the same track that they're all comped through. And so when doing this, just remember you have full mixing capabilities, so all your automation, everything like that will be just fine. The only thing hindered is just the audio editing. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is here is what your sessions folder looks like as far as what folders are created before you launch a session. So in this case, after we launch a session, extra folders will be created, temporary folders in a lot of cases, as you can see here. And then when you unfreeze and freeze files, they are actually held on to for undo and redo purposes, and obviously they can stack up. So let's go ahead and freeze a file here. And here, if we open up our folder again, we can see a new folder was created called Rendered Files. And if we open it up, there is our audio file. So if we go ahead and unfreeze it to get rid of that file, and we can see the file is still there after we unfroze the track. And now let's go ahead and close out Pro Tools. And here now we can see that rendered files folder is gone along with the other temporary folders. I hope this answers any questions you have, and thank you for watching the video.